The next one?
Yeah, the next one. Are you on it?
What, Hello, my fellow Idahoans. I want to extend the warmest virtual welcome to each and every one of you for joining our 4th annual Philanthropy Day celebration. Like all of our nonprofit friends across the state, we're adapting to change, leaning in and focusing on the positive changes to this year's event. This year's Philanthropy Day celebration is even more important, poignant, and heartwarming as our nonprofits have risen to the challenge to remain focused on their missions, keeping our communities fed, safe, supported, and showing their adaptability, creativity, and most importantly, their resiliency. We were overwhelmed again this year with a record number of nominations, and our committee and judging teams had an incredibly difficult challenge in narrowing down our honorees. Truly, there are stories of heroes in every corner of Idaho, and throughout this month we'll be sharing as many of those hero stories as we can to help honor the incredible contributions that our citizens, nonprofits, and support organizations are making in our communities every day. This year, we are proud to have joined forces with our friends at Serve Idaho, combining their Brightest Star Awards with our Philanthropy Day celebrations. Idaho Philanthropy Day was revitalized in 2017 in partnership with the Idaho Women's Foundation, Idaho Community Foundation, and the Idaho Association of Fundraising Professionals. There are so many generous sponsors that are supporting our event this year, including our presenting sponsor, Wells Fargo, gold sponsor Thrivent, and silver sponsor Idaho Central Credit Union. Thanks to our category, party pack, and table sponsors for your support as well. Recognition for those are infused throughout the program today. It is now my pleasure to turn this year's award ceremony over to our esteemed MC, George Prentice. George has been honored for his decades-long career in broadcast and print journalism. He has won dozens of awards for his investigative reporting and took home top prizes in the fields of crime and courts, environmental, health, religion, and feature reporting. As the host of Morning Edition, he helms one of the highest-rated broadcasts in Idaho. On numerous occasions, he has taken the live broadcast on the road, reporting from Wall Street, the White House, and presidential inaugurations in D.C. George has also been honored for his work with Idaho foster children, winning the Governor's Brightest Star Grand Prize Award. He's also been a film critic for more than 3 decades and is a regular fixture at some of the world's best film festivals. Thank you, George, and all of you for being with us today. With that, I'll turn it over to you, George.
Hello, hi, and we are live. Welcome. It's true, our connection this year is made possible by technology, but rest assured, we hope that the next hour will be very personal and warm. I could not be happier to help guide you through the next hour. Indeed, this is live, so welcome to the excitement. My name is George Prentice. I host Morning Edition on NPR here in Idaho. I spend my days talking to and listening to people who are really smart, really interesting, and almost always near the top of that list are the amazing people in the nonprofit world. Truth be told, full disclosure here, a good many of my colleagues don't know this, but the good folks at the Idaho Nonprofit Center know this about me, and that is I spent a good chunk of my adult professional life in the nonprofit world, working with young men and women, children and infants tangled in the foster care system. It changed my life forever. To this day, it informs all of my work, it informs my journalism. So being with you today is more than just a pleasure, it is an honor. So let me set the stage for you. We have 7 award categories that we'll be celebrating today. We'll spend some time today with the amazing Dan Prinzing. We'll visit the Wasmuth Human Rights Center, and we'll wrap things up with the Cecil Andrus Volunteer of the Year Award. And along the way, we'll check in with a number of you and live spots with a number of our honorees. So, couple of housekeeping issues. Let's chat. For goodness sakes, there's a chat feature here, and I think it's on the right side of your screen. So feel free to chat, let us know where you are and what's going on. And take a photo. Take a photo of you, take a photo of the people with you, and share those on social media. And then use at Idaho Nonprofits. Idaho Nonprofits, all one word. So at Idaho Nonprofits, and share that on social media. Okay? Up top, let's have a word or two from our good friends and sponsor, the folks at Wells Fargo Bank.
Hello, I'm Molly Linty-Dixon, a Vice President in Wells Fargo's Social Impact and Sustainability Group. On behalf of our leadership across Idaho, it is my honor to share in our appreciation for Idaho Philanthropy Day and for each of the celebrations across the state. We look forward to this event each year. It's an opportunity to get to work with the Idaho Nonprofit Center and now also with Serve Idaho, two organizations who are tireless supporters of nonprofits. It's also a great way for us to come together and get to celebrate and connect with each of you. We realize that this year has been especially challenging for nonprofits, and we want to say thank you for all the work that you and your teams have put in and day out in support of your local communities. So on behalf of Wells Fargo, once again, I just want to say thank you for all that you do and to share in our appreciation for Idaho Philanthropy Day.
And thank you to Wells Fargo. Okay, let's get going. These are just some of the things that nominators said about our first group of honorees. They used the words exceptional leadership, high quality, and people who invest in the future. Here are the amazing honorees for outstanding philanthropic company or foundation.
With John Jackson and his contributions and the Jackson companies, we were able to finally get the price of the facility that they had just vacated to an amount that the board and the organization felt comfortable committing to the purchase of this facility and building it out.
Jackson's Companies has a long history of giving back to communities across Idaho as well as in their other states of business. For 15 years, the company has supported victims of domestic violence through their annual Jackson's Gift of Peace campaign. To date, they have raised more than $1.35 million to support organizations helping provide women, children, and families with support services. They have asked for nothing in terms of recognition of their giving and have been humble throughout our partnership. They are leaders in the community, though they never ask for the spotlight. They are quiet philanthropists making a significant impact on families, children, and individuals struggling, and they are providing resources to create long-term and meaningful change for the better.
Today is only made possible because of the amazing contributions of partners and generous donors like Jackson's Companies. Thank you again for your amazing contribution.
Since 1936, Cap Ed Credit Union, through all its mergers, has been supporting teachers and education in Idaho with numerous events, including early childhood conferences that encourage collaboration with experts and providers. Since its inception, the Teacher Grant Program has awarded over $435,000 to Idaho teachers. Funding Idaho PBS Kids Channel ensures free access for families across the state to support our education ecosystem. When Governor Little initiated the stay-home order in late March for the state of Idaho, Cap Ed thought up the Stay Home Short Film Contest. Modeled after their student movie trailer competition, the short film contest was initiated to help students avoid cabin fever, with so many family members learning and working from home. The winning filmmakers received a laptop and 1-year subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud.
Everyone in the Treasure Valley is familiar with Micron and the Micron Foundation because they have a long history of supporting Southwest Idaho by providing STEM opportunities for students and enrichment activities for the community. When the pandemic struck Idaho, they immediately realized the magnitude of how people would be affected. Micron and Micron Foundation encouraged their employees to donate to help Idahoans affected by COVID-19, and they offered an incredibly generous 2-to-1 match for donations. Micron and the Micron Foundation are philanthropic in all of the communities in which they operate all around the world.
It's my great pleasure today to congratulate Micron for being recognized as an outstanding philanthropic company and foundation during the virtual Idaho Philanthropic Day celebration. I am especially delighted to see Micron receiving this award because we've done so many wonderful things together. Micron has been an incredible partner to Boise State since the company and later the foundation were formed. The Micron Foundation is a major reason our College of Engineering has reached such levels of excellence in its short 20-year history. Micron has provided generous funding at each major juncture of the college's growth. This year alone, the Micron Foundation made a major contribution to our Student Emergency Fund at the beginning of the COVID pandemic. Beyond philanthropic gifts, the people of the Micron Foundation and the Micron Company have always been willing to give up their time as volunteers. Your generosity has changed lives and impacted not just Boise State, but all of Idaho and the world.
Wow. Well, congratulations to all of our honorees. Let's talk to one of them right now. Joining us live is Mr. Todd Erickson. He is the president and CEO of CapEd. Todd, congratulations.
Well, thank you, George. It's great to be here. Thank you very much.
Todd, we know that you're being honored today for your tremendous support for teachers and education. That's at the very core of your mission. Tell us about that.
Yeah, our vision statement talks about what we really try to do as an organization, and it says that we are supporting quality education, financial empowerment, and enrichment of individuals and communities. And so, through that, fulfilling and advancing that mission statement, our teacher grant program has something that has really gone a long ways to help us do that.
Talk to me a little bit about early education. There's so much conversation about that in Idaho, and I know that you're committed to early education in the Gem State.
Yeah, early education is so important. We really want to get a message out to parents and those guardians of kids and those that work with kids to really read to them and take time to read to young kids, get them interested in learning, get them loving books. And as they do that, then be more confident in the classroom. There's been a lot of studies going on that say that the kids that can read and love book are confident in the classroom, and so put some time and effort into the early learning portion of supporting quality education.
He is Todd Erickson, President and CEO of CapEd. Todd, again, congratulations. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much.
Okay, our next category, Outstanding Nonprofit. And this category is sponsored by the Association of Fundraising Professionals, AFP, Idaho Chapter. This is their third year as a sponsor for Idaho Philanthropy Day. AFP empowers individuals and organizations to practice ethical fundraising through professional education, networking, research, and advocacy. Here are the honorees in the category of Outstanding Nonprofit.
The WCA, we provide safety, healing, and freedom from domestic abuse and sexual assault. And what that means for our community, actually right now during our COVID crisis, we have seen an increase of 194% calls to our 24-hour hotline because home is not safe for all, even though most of us are trying to stay safe in home right now. It's not safe for our clients. Not only do we help clients, that are going through domestic abuse and sexual assault. But we also are out in the community when we can be providing awareness. So we have a prevention program that helps with healthy relationships. We have partnerships in the community, law enforcement, prosecutor's office, the paramedics, but many schools, many other organizations, other nonprofits, Life's Kitchen, City Lights, Giraffe Lab, Create Common Good. So we're very collaborative. And I think that makes our work outstanding because we're able to pull resources from several different places in order to get our clients what they need.
The WCA also provides freedom for clients through financial empowerment classes, case management, and brand new donations of several needed items for themselves and their children through the generosity of the community. Clients are treated with compassion, kindness, and warmth and are given the highest level of service and resources by the incredible staff and volunteers. This organization literally saves lives and has given hundreds safety from domestic abuse and sexual assault. The WCA is vital to our community every day, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite this, they have never stopped serving clients, and they work tirelessly to ensure clients receive everything they need. Camp Rainbow Gold has been serving Idaho children battling cancer for 36 years.
Camp Rainbow Gold's impact to Idaho's children with cancer is beyond comparison. They're an incredible organization. But what really gets the impact for the organization is that they're caring with Idaho's children with cancer. No better opportunity than to invest in a child, because the care that Camp Rainbow Gold gives to these children, the encouragement, the empowerment that Camp Rainbow Gold delivers is something that works for these kids for their entire life. What's amazing about Camp Rainbow Gold is the number of volunteers that come every year to camp. We are a volunteer-driven organization with over 300 volunteers giving up their time, effort, and dollars to Camp Rainbow Gold and Idaho Children with Cancer. And when we think about that, it's an amazing group to try to put together year in and year out. And yet, in many instances, in many years that I've been working with Camp Rainbow Gold, for some of our camps, we get the same volunteers year after year.
Camp Rainbow Gold made the difficult decision to host our 2020 summer programs via virtual experiences and online connections. In a time of crisis, CRG did not close or go away. They got creative. They don't shy away from a challenge. They take nothing for granted.
Most recently, we purchased a property just north of Fairfield, Idaho, where we're hoping to develop a medical needs camp. And we're out there working every day to make that dream a reality. We have a number of significant lead gifts for that endeavor. Myself, I was just out there this past weekend working for the camp to get it ready for winter, and so that we're ready to start opening our programming there in the summer of 2021.
Our organization is committed to investing in our communities to promote the health and well-being of individuals who are victims of sex trafficking. We're also committed to investing our time and our efforts in creating awareness and education so that we can properly provide services and supports. Our efforts are new to Idaho. We're building this organization from the ground up. We have an amazing volunteer program where individuals can work alongside us and work to expand these efforts statewide. And that is through advocacy, it's through outreach, education.
Idaho Anti-Trafficking Coalition, IATC, has taken a grassroots effort to develop a statewide systemic approach to end sex trafficking in Idaho. This organization is less than 3 years old, and after the first year meeting one-on-one with about 500 individuals and agencies, IATC identified various gaps, barriers, and needed services and supports to effectively serve victims of human trafficking. IATC has presented on human trafficking to over 250 groups and organizations and providing direct services to 251 individuals in the past 12 months through crisis intervention, case management, trauma-specific counseling, peer support, shelter services, transportation, victim advocacy, and direct referrals. They are truly rescuing and changing lives.
We have amazing staff and volunteers who get to utilize their expertise, their talents, and even their passion to really give to community efforts in this expansion and really start highlighting a cause that is worth giving to.
How impressive our honorees are. Joining us live is one of those honorees. Jennifer Zielinski is the director of the Idaho Anti-Trafficking Coalition. Jennifer, welcome and congratulations. We're not getting audio right now from the Well, we'll have to say congratulations. Thank you. Thank you so very much. We do know that the Idaho Anti-Trafficking Coalition is the first organization of its kind in the state. And again, they take a systemic approach to combat human trafficking. So let's move on. Our next category is media or marketing company. And at a time when there is so much conversation about the importance of integrity in media, these are the best of the best. Here are the honorees of best media or marketing companies.
For us here at the WCA, for me personally, as the communications manager, I couldn't do what I do without him. Not only does he get it, it meaning our vision, he gets what we do, and whatever the project, which is typically, our annual report or a twin program or a brochure, just in talking with him, he gets it. So he can turn something around faster than lightning and pretty much anybody else I've ever worked with. And he gets the vision.
Schroeder Creative has donated thousands of dollars in services to the WCA for many years. Not only does he provide excellent work, but he is always available with any items needed at the last minute. His kindness, creativity, and generosity are extremely valued at the WCA. Without his donated services, the WCA would not be able to have such expertly produced materials.
We wouldn't be where we are today, and we wouldn't have been to advance and grow our programs in terms of outreach, marketing, communications, and even with the community awareness that we have today, and grow it over what we've been able to do over the last 6 years without Mike's help. He has just been an asset, a huge asset. And I've often found myself telling him, or begging him rather, please don't leave me because I wouldn't be able to do my job without you. I truly believe with Mike's time and talent that he's given to us graciously, we have been able to reach more people, and we have been able to help our community in our vision of a community where everyone thrives in safe and healthy relationships. I think Mike is absolutely brilliant, and he is humble. He doesn't ever want any attention. So I think this award is going to hit him in a place he doesn't necessarily want, but we had to do it because he deserves the recognition.
As a news organization, one of our responsibilities is to serve the community. And so we have been for years working with various nonprofits within our community, and in a way that we can help encourage and support and grow them. We are a local news operation, of course, and one of the most important things is to accurately inform the public of what's going on, not only in our community, but also the region or nationally. That is a huge, huge part, obviously, of what we do, but how we connect with the community is equally important to us. Doing philanthropic work isn't new for us, but we do have a concerted effort towards helping nonprofits in our area. As station manager, I work with various departments to make sure that we can be the very best we can be. And part of that is doing various types of initiatives with community partners and nonprofits within our community, really just to help our community be a better place. We are very much invested in this community, and we care about the things that the community cares about.
Eagle Life magazine is a social publication that focuses on families, children, and pets in the Eagle community. Brandy has taken the magazine beyond that in recognizing local nonprofits and the work they do in the Treasure Valley. She publishes ads and stories relating to local nonprofits at no cost, increasing visibility of these nonprofits in the Eagle community and beyond.
I hope that when people pick up our publications that they get to learn something about somebody that maybe they would not have known before, and that when they see them, out in the community, that they consider them a friend or a fellow Eagle comrade or Treasure Valley comrade. We're all here in Idaho for a reason.
Brandy started out publishing events and stories about Giraffe Laugh, bringing much needed visibility to our organization. As a result of her selfless donation of space in her magazine, we have gained new volunteers and supporters. There is more, however. Eagle Life has also supported Sunshine for Claire and the Boys and Girls Club as well. Eagle Life magazine understands the importance of supporting nonprofits in our community.
Just keep supporting nonprofits. Keep supporting other people in the community. It takes a village. So we just need to stick together like a village.
Great honorees. Let's meet one of them joining us live. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Here's Cassandra Wagner, a supporter of Eagle Life magazine. Cassandra, hi, welcome.
Hi, George. How are you?
I'm very well. So tell us about Brandy Wolf and Eagle Life magazine.
We are so excited about this nomination for them, and we send our deepest congratulations. Eagle Life really exemplifies philanthropic excellence and outreach and support for local nonprofits in our community. And on behalf of Giraffe Laugh and the families we serve, we thank Brandy and Matt and Eagle Life for the work that they do to bring visibility to local nonprofits. And what it makes me think of is, a quote by Melinda Gates, where she says that philanthropy is not about the money. It's about using whatever resources you have at your fingertips and applying them to improving the world. And this is something that Brandy does every single day in the work that she does with Eagle Life magazine. And I just encourage everybody on this call today or at this event today to apply your resources to our local nonprofit community and continue to improve the world. Because we can see that Brandy brings her kindness, her empathy, and compassion for local nonprofits through her publication. And, if she can do that, we have so much more that we can do in the community in supporting our local nonprofits. And so just a big grateful thank you to Brandy and the Idaho Nonprofit Center for all of your hard work and supporting Giraffe Laugh and all of our other amazing nonprofits in Idaho.
And Cassandra, you know this so well. It's one thing to be doing all the heavy lifting, but sometimes a nonprofit needs to be put into the spotlight. It's important to share their stories. So obviously Eagle Life magazine steps up and does just that.
They absolutely do. And we are so honored and proud to call them our friends and know that they're doing such amazing work in our community. And thank you, Brandy and Matt and Eagle Life magazine. We love you.
Thanks, Cassandra. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, we want to say a big thank you to another one of our sponsors, and that is Thrivent. And they say it best when they say they measure success by the fulfillment of the people that they serve and the communities that they foster. They are Thrivent.
Hi, I'm Jessica Kofod, Regional Development Director at Thrivent Financial in Southern Idaho. I hire people to serve their community in Idaho as financial advisors and teach them our philosophy of values-focused planning that starts with getting to know you and identifying your closely held values. Then we work to create goals and a financial plan to help you achieve financial clarity and prepare for the certainty of uncertainty. As a sponsor, Thrivent is so honored to introduce our keynote speaker. Dr. Dan Prenzing is the Executive Director of the Wassmuth Center for Human Rights. He is the mastermind behind the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial. The center's mission is to promote respect for human dignity and diversity through education and to foster individual responsibility to work for peace and justice. As a career educator, his work has taken him from the classroom to state government to countries around the globe as a teacher, coordinator, and trainer in human rights education. Dr. Prinzing holds a BA in History Secondary Education and a Master's in Curriculum and Instruction, a Master's in History and Government, and a PhD in Educational Leadership. Welcome, Dr. Prinzing.
Give, and you shall receive. Much more than you would have ever thought possible. Give again and again. Don't lose courage. Keep it up and go on giving. No one has ever become poor from giving. From the secret attic of their Amsterdam warehouse, Anne Frank penned the essay, Give, on March 26, 1944, just months before the 8 in hiding were arrested and deported to the concentration camps. The time of their arrest, they had been in hiding for 25 months. It's a poignant thought. No one has ever become poor from giving. My name is Dan Prinzing, Executive Director of the Wasmus Center for Human Rights. Though we're physically distant, I'm delighted to be with you today to recognize the impact and commitment of those who do give. The philanthropic work of nonprofit organizations, individuals, foundations, media outlets, and businesses, each investing time, talent, and treasure, are the foundation in a community. We are all the better for what you do. Congratulations for today's well-deserved recognition. Thank you also to Wells Fargo for the continued support. Like the Idaho Nonprofit Center, the Wasmus Center is so grateful for the corporate sponsorship that enables us to fulfill our critical missions in the state. The statue of Anne Frank behind me was in part funded through the generosity of Idaho students, contributing pennies, nickels, and dimes for an idea. They were inspired by possibility, by a vision that shared Anne's hope for humanity, by a vision that recognized that the state of Idaho was so much more than the stain that an Aryan compound in northern Idaho had blotted on our landscape. The Wasmus Center is the builder and home of the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial. Located in the heart of Boise, I often tease the mayor that we are the heart of the city. It is the only Anne Frank memorial in the United States, one of the few places in the world in which the full text of the Universal Declaration for Human Rights is on public display, and it is recognized as an international site of conscience. In his book, Etched in Stone, Enduring Words from Our Nation's Monuments, Ryan Coonerty wrote, Anne Frank could scarcely have conceived of Boise, Idaho. Therefore, it seems improbable that the author of a diary that has become among the world's most widely read books has become a symbolic feature of this community so many years after her death. But she has. It was exactly 25 years ago when the national exhibit, Anne Frank in the World, was brought to Idaho. Almost 50,000 people attended the exhibit in 1 month's time, and the seeds were planted for building a memorial to human rights in the state's capital city. Dedicated to the public in 2002, the memorial is an educational park designed to actively engage visitors to think, to talk with one another, and to respond to the human rights issues we face in our community, our country, and our world. While the city recognizes the memorial as a public park, and the state recognizes it as an open-air museum, neither the city nor the state built the memorial. What exists today was funded through the time, talent, and treasure of countless donors who raised almost $3 million to build a physical space of our shared values. What are those values? There are over 80 quotes etched into the stone of the memorial. Let's draw upon some of them to help answer the question. Perhaps you'll recognize this first one in another iteration, but in the memorial, Confucius reminds us, what you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. That's how we come together as a community, caring enough to treat another just like we would hope to be treated. Do unto others. Who are the others? Jimmy Carter stated, we become not a melting pot, but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, different dreams. Each a piece in the collective mosaic that is bound together as a community. Yet, within the community, we do recognize the differences. But as Governor Cecil Andrus acknowledged, our dreams of equality and respect will never come true if we permit the seeds of division to be sown. Let us always reject the forces of hatred and bigotry. For it is when the beauty of the mosaic is chipped at, when the seeds of division are sown, and according to Edmund Burke, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. Albert Einstein echoed the same sentiment. The world is a dangerous place to live in, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. It is a call to action, calling us to stand up to the forces of hate, to speak out against bigotry. Margaret Mead encouraged, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. It is in our coming together that Gordon B. Hinckley stated, we simply must work unitedly to remove from our hearts and to drive from our society all elements of hatred, bigotry, racism, and divisive actions and words that limit a person's ability to progress, learn, and be fully accepted. While we recognize there is a strength that comes in numbers, Mahatma Gandhi was much more direct. Be the change you want to see in the world. It is a charge. It's a charge that begins with me. For as Malala Yousafzai acknowledged, when the whole world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful. We read that a lot in the memorial. The power of the individual to make a difference. Both the triumphs and the tragedies of the human story are on display. But in every quote and every idea, we see the profound power of a single voice or a bold action to overcome great odds and alter the course of history. And in that, Robert F. Kennedy ascribed, each time a person stands up for an ideal or acts to improve the lot of others, they send forth a tiny ripple of hope. Hope. Anne Frank recognized the power of hope. As she wrote, where there is hope, there is life. So what are those shared values? That born out of our differences, we recognize our shared humanity. And in that, we empower one another with kindness, compassion, and hope, doing unto one another as we hope is done to us. Reverend Dr. Nancy S. Taylor, a visionary co-founder of the memorial, shared, may the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial stand as a tribute to Anne Frank's memory, as a warning to any who would dare trespass upon the freedoms of others, and as an inspiration to all whose lives are devoted to love, respect, understanding, peace, and goodwill among the totality and diversity of the human family. It is that vision that also guides the work of the Wasma Center for Human Rights, now recognized as the educational arm of the memorial. Ours is a mission to promote respect for human dignity and diversity through education. To fulfill that mission, we design and deliver programming and resources on-site in the memorial, off-site in classrooms and communities throughout Idaho, and online reaching national and international audiences. As one Idaho educator commented, the center's education programs begin the process of personalizing the world for students. The other suddenly has a name, a face, hopes, dreams, concerns, and challenges that are perhaps not so different than our own. Once that happens, students move beyond tolerance to community. Whether in the physical bricks and mortar of the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial or the education programming of the Wasma Center for Human Rights, fostering value and respect for human dignity and diversity through education is what we do. The mark that the Wasma Center for Human Rights is making throughout the state is motivated by the conviction that every member of the human family is worthy of fundamental human rights. Respect for human dignity and diversity is more than a value proposition. It is the mark we make that presents our community and state as a welcoming place to live. It is the mark of how and where to conduct business. It is the mark we secure for the next generation. Yes, even Anne Frank admitted, it's difficult in times like these. Ideals, dreams, and cherished hopes rise within us only to be crushed by grim reality. It's a wonder I haven't abandoned all my ideals. They seem so absurd and impractical. But even in hiding from the cruelty that walked the streets below, Anne penned, yet I cling to them because I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are truly good at heart. So thank you. Thank you for acting to improve the lot of others. Thank you for sending forth a tiny ripple of hope. Thank you for investing in the life of the community.
Wow. Well, the Anne Frank Memorial is amazing, and to be sure, Dan Prinzig is pretty amazing too. We're live, if you haven't figured that out yet, and we had a bit of a technical pause earlier, and the hour just would not be complete if we didn't try one more time. Let's see if we can bring in one of our honorees, Jennifer Zielinski, Director of the Idaho Anti-Trafficking Coalition. Let's see, Jennifer, hi. Well, we're not having much luck there. Okay, anyway, all the best to you. Sorry. Okay, and if I haven't mentioned it yet, we are live. I'd say our next category is Outstanding Adult Philanthropist. And the category sponsor is the Idaho Women's Charitable Foundation. IWCF's vision is to raise philanthropic consciousness and inspire strategic charitable investments to transform the community. They were founded in 2001. They've got more than 400 members, and they have contributed more than $4.8 million to organizations all across Southwest Idaho. Here are the honorees of Outstanding Adult Philanthropists.
I do a number of different things in the community, but probably where I spend most of my time is I run a nonprofit called Operation Birthday Bash. And so I throw birthday parties for kids in homeless shelters or transitional living facilities.
Kelly's most admirable qualities to me would be her compassion and her selflessness. She is a very, very selfless person. She's always working, and she is to the community through Operation Birthday Bash. She has always asked us what we need, has been in constant contact with us, and we know that the WCA is a special place in her heart. But not only is she a pillar of the community for her work and professionally, but she's also a pillar in our community for all of the good deeds that she does.
I think the whole purpose of life and why we're here is to help others. I feel the most myself when I'm doing something for someone else. Philanthropic work is what makes me feel fulfilled. That's what makes me feel like I'm giving my best self and living to my full potential. And spending time serving others always gives me perspective. And I'm just so grateful that I have the opportunity to be on this side of giving and contributing. Serving and volunteering is something that has been instilled in me since I was little. I grew up watching my parents selflessly give and serving with others in my church. I think we all have the capacity to think beyond ourselves and to do something kind for others. It's just a matter of shifting our priorities and not finding the time, but making the time and making sure that we're always taking opportunities to think beyond ourselves.
Action, I have to tell you, is probably one of my most favorite individuals that I work with on occasion. He, when he enters your office, he will make your day. I've known Action now for several years. He is probably one of the most down-to-earth, unassuming individuals you will ever know. And he is a true definition of a partner. So he is constantly connecting dots. He is constantly looking for ways that he can not only benefit you as the participant in his organization, but also benefit the organization and those individuals that he's reaching out to.
Action Jackson has demonstrated exceptional leadership through years of dedication to the community. The JWJF has now been benefiting the community for 17 years, with Action leading this all-volunteer effort that benefits academic scholarships, performing arts scholarships, funds for music instruments, and youth outdoor sports. JWJF has provided over $1 million to support the people and programs in our community.
He's constantly looking for new partners and ways basically to improve his organization. And it really just stands out to me as somebody who is striving to make our community a better place. Over the years, they've raised over $1 million that has went back into our communities, helping youth, helping people receive their education. And I think it's just really amazing what he's been able to do in terms of gathering a great group of really leaders within our community, and then bringing those folks together through a sustainable process, basically to keep them engaged, to keep them going so that they can help other people. An example of what an outstanding adult philanthropist can be and what somebody should do in terms of that just ongoing, that constant support of others.
He really values different perspectives, and he's always trying to see things differently himself. And I think one of the ways that he interfaces with the world is through photography, through his camera. For him, there's just no place without value, and no place that doesn't have something worth seeing if you're willing to take the time and look. He's going to show up wherever art is happening. He's going to have his camera, and he's going to want to talk to people and learn something new.
He's constantly reflecting on what he's seeing, what he's observing, and reflecting on it. And in doing that, he serves all sorts of people all over the community in ways that he thinks are small, but in ways that actually really elevate people and motivate people.
He really does show us how to be good, how to listen, how to work, how to stay focused, even amidst pandemics, how to take care of each other, and really how to love. He is an Idaho gem, no doubt. Sorrell's Place would not be where we are today without Greg. He's the full package, and I am both grateful for his presence and inspired by it. We are very lucky that he has chosen Sorrell's Place when we know there are so many other organizations worthy of his support.
I'm sure he doesn't think of himself as a philanthropist. He has a lot of humility in the sense that humility isn't thinking less of yourself, but it's thinking of yourself less. So I'm sure when he's going around his life, he's not thinking, oh, it's such a philanthropic thing that I'm doing. I think he's just thinking, wow, here's this really interesting person doing creative work, and I want to support that.
His persistent, thoughtful philanthropy is not motivated by ego, but is rather rooted in his sincere belief in the power of collaboration and creativity to improve individuals' lives and to strengthen our community.
Well, congratulations to Kelly and Bill and Greg, and spoiler alert, we might meet one of them in just a little bit. Our next category is Outstanding Adult Volunteer, the Brightest Star honorees. These are individuals quite often unknown or unheralded, but these are the people who do so much for so many. Here are the honorees for Outstanding Adult Volunteer.
He's truly what I would call a servant leader. He's the kind of leader, he's our medical director at Genesis Community Health, and he's the kind that's always asking how he can help, what more he can do, always trying to empower and equip everybody who volunteers or works here at the clinic. He's easygoing. He doesn't let stuff get to him or ruffle his feathers. in clinic, which really creates kind of a peaceful atmosphere for everybody. He's also compassionate. He cares deeply for the patients we serve. We're a free clinic, and he served here for a very long time. Just very compassionate for those we serve. We've had patients write in surveys that he literally saved their life or changed their life. He intentionally takes on our most complicated patients, ones who have multiple diseases or kind of life issues going on, and really tries to help and focus on those folks. He's also very committed. I see that in many areas of his life, to his family. I know he intentionally works as a doctor part-time so he can volunteer and so he can be present for his wife and his 3 boys that he's raising, which is rare, I think, for his profession. The other thing is obviously very committed and faithful to patients, and that's seen in his volunteer work here. And it's a quiet impact. I think he doesn't realize how much it impacts those around him, just because he is so faithfully, quietly, humbly committed. So very thankful for him.
When you are at Camp Rainbow Gold, you know you are doing something 100% absolutely right by volunteering your time there. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that volunteering is for the people you're volunteering for.
He just has this transformational presence or effect on those around him. So in the camp setting, he's the exact person you'd want at a summer camp.
He is very innovative, and he is definitely a visionary.
He was there for the prehistoric day, and he said, no, that's not good enough. This should be entirely Jurassic Park themed. So he took decorations, and we have these golf carts we transport supplies and campers around on. He made those the Jeeps from Jurassic Park. He dressed up like the old man from the movie and just walked around every camper he'd come across. He'd be like, welcome to Jurassic Park. He blows it all out of the water and takes ordinary events and just turns them into really magical moments for the kids he's serving.
Embrace the fun of camp. You're going to have a better week than you've ever had in your entire life. I guarantee it. There's a reason we have perennial volunteers.
Although he is the life of the party, behind the scenes, he is incredibly committed. He's very consistent. He's incredibly dedicated to all the projects he does, whether it be for Camp Rainbow Gold or other organizations. He's detail-oriented. He is a great leader. He's someone that his teammates, the volunteers, the staff, they all want to follow him. He always excels, and he tends to always bring the best out in anyone that he works with.
These kids, I learn way more from them than I'm sure they learn from me. They have such an appreciation and love for life and friends and family.
It's knowing that I can possibly make a difference in a child's life, even though they may not realize it for many years to come. Previously, I had only made donations to some of my favorite charities. And then when I retired, I knew I wanted to fill some of my days, possibly making a little bit more of a change in the world than just donating that money, but also by donating my time. And I really did make someone's world a little bit better.
I oversee Sandra Thompson in her role as a guardian ad litem in the 4th Judicial District. Sandra Thompson is currently on 2.5 times as many cases as our program's general standard allows for. And God, just numbers alone. Last year, she served 434 volunteer hours all by herself. She's also our only guardian that's willing to take on cases in Boise County, even though we're located in Ada County. And so last year, another great number showing her dedication, Sandra Thompson drove 4,366 miles in 1 year.
Find something that you're passionate about and just go for it. Go out and either donate your money or your time and just know that when you do that, you make this world a better place.
Wow, outstanding indeed. Let's meet one of them. Let's go live now to Genesis Community Health, where we'll find Dr. Gabe Garber, Medical Director of Genesis. Dr. Garber, hello and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Very well. Dr. Garber, tell me about the men, women, and children who walk through your doors. I'm assuming they come from all walks of life.
Yeah, we mostly take care of men and women, not a whole lot of kids, but there's been a lot of changes in the medical coverage that people have had in the last few years, but there's still a lot of people that don't have resources. And so we serve people throughout Treasure Valley that just aren't kind of hitting the right criteria to fall into some of these other programs. But we take care of lots of diabetes, high blood pressure, heart problems, lots of depression. That's our medical clinic, and then we have a lot of other services through our community health workers to kind of make connections between our patients if they need help from financial or looking for jobs and all sorts of different things. Plus, we have a dental clinic here as well, so we try to take care of about everything that we can, and then through the St. Al's and St. Luke's volunteer a lot of lab work and imaging studies, and a number of their subspecialists. So in addition to just kind of the basics of medical disease, we can also get subspecialty care for a lot of our patients as well.
Dr. Garber, I'd be remiss if I did not ask you about the pandemic. What could we be doing? What should we be doing to make things better?
Wear a mask, wash your hands, keep your distance from each other, and just be safe. Be as safe as you can. Protect those around you as best you can.
Why don't you gush a little bit about your colleagues and some of the folks who are sitting there with you?
Well, yeah, there's a whole mix of them. Josh Campbell, Steve, Rita, and Lisa, they all kind of perform different jobs here, but I appreciate the award, but there's no way that, I can't do this without the what's been built before I kind of got involved just as the medical director. But so many people put so much work into our clinic just through our volunteers and the employees, and again, everyone, the other hospitals in the area that help us out. But yeah, it's a group effort, but we do a lot of good, and I appreciate the award, but it's a group effort as far as I'm concerned for everything that we can provide.
He is Dr. Gabe Garber, Medical Director of Genesis Community Health. Congratulations and thank you. Our next category, Outstanding Youth Philanthropists. And the category is sponsored by Cliff Bar. Cliff Bar is a family and employee-owned company that, in their words, they say happy, healthy people create the best foods. Well, indeed, Cliff Bar is committed to the people, the places, and the communities that they touch. Here are this year's Outstanding Youth Philanthropists.
It strengthens our community as a whole when every person gets that opportunity to explore, grow, and lead of bettering themselves and bettering the world around them. And philanthropic work lets us find causes that are close to our heart and get to learn more about ourselves in that way, as well as learn more about our community and about the cause itself. During my time with Wild Hearts Idaho, the most fulfilling part was certainly the relationships I made. On the youth leadership board and board of directors, and just even going on adventures with girls, I made so many amazing relationships with women and girls in the Boise community and even outside of it. And with that, I was able to be mentored by Maggie Benedetti, the founder of Wild Hearts, that she really cares for every girl that enters our program.
She's continued to progress in leadership through our organization and bring in the girl voice in a very strong way. I love that she's very curious, so she has a lot of different interests and a lot of talents and is extremely well-rounded and really relatable. I think that she really tries to connect with people and bring them along and help empower them as well. She will continue to be a voice within Wild Hearts and an example for girls in our community to continue to, say yes to adventure and grow and lead, and she definitely leads by example.
The legacy that I would like to leave behind is not only to inspire these kids, but to show them the well-being in themselves and to show them that they can see when someone's struggling, to be able to go and help them and show those people saying, hey, you really matter.
Luke is the 15-year-old founder and director of the I Love This Life Foundation, a 501c3 Idaho-based nonprofit. The mission of the foundation is to give all kids the hope to dream big. Luke has presented his I Love This Life school assembly to over 20,000 kids across the country since 2019. Luke's vision is something every Idahoan should be proud of. In a time when kids are losing hope, Luke has given them a reason to believe in themselves and is truly making a positive impact.
You are what you think, so think big! Believe big, work big, give big, laugh big, love big, and live big. If you can dream it, you can do it.
I would describe Katie's dedication to philanthropy work as a passion. When she sees a need, she gets really excited and always willing to help. She's never been one to say, well, I'm too young to make an impact. She knows that her youth really does inspire youth as well as everyone to see her and see the things she's doing and think, I could do something to help too.
I joined Girl Scouts when I was in kindergarten, and a big aspect of Girl Scouts is community service. I was in Girl Scouts through all of my years of high school, so I was in it for 13 years. I just always had it in the back of my mind that I had to give back to my community, and my mom's always been a volunteer. She was always volunteered at my schools, so I grew up seeing it. I grew up doing it through Girl Scouts.
I think the biggest difference that I've seen her make is she actually pursued her highest award in Girl Scouts, which is the Gold Award. And what Katie did for that is that she found she was really passionate about inclusion and cultural awareness. And so she earned her Gold Award by just devoting countless hours to tutoring her peers at her high school who are part of the Boise refugee community. And then she ultimately filmed, produced, and hosted a screening at the Egyptian Theater downtown of a movie that was dedicated to sharing their stories. Katie's most admirable quality is that she has an open heart. She approaches every person she encounters and each experience that she has in life with just so much love and humility. And she's kind, she's patient, and she just invests so much of who she is and so much of her time and energy into making the world around her better.
I've gotten to work with a variety of people and on a variety of issues, and while I am helping people, I feel like I've learned more from them and more from their experiences and perspectives than they've learned from me, and that's what keeps me going back.
Well, lucky us, we have two of the honorees now, so let's go on to meet Madeline Patterson and Katie Tidwell. Madeline, Katie, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Madeline, tell me about Wild Hearts Idaho.
Wild Hearts Idaho is an organization that is for having teen girls grow hearts for leadership through exploring Idaho's outdoors. And it's a really great thing that I have grown up in Idaho, but I never had the opportunity to go and do some of the adventures that I had got to with Wild Hearts, that I got to go on a backpacking trip for the first time. I tried rock climbing. So Wild Hearts is a space that wants every girl to push their comfort zone and challenge themselves. And it's just something really great that I am so happy that I got to be a part of and recommend every person look into.
Katie Tidwell, who's there with you?
This is my friend Anna. We're watching from Oklahoma State University. Go Pokes!
Okay. Katie, can you talk a little bit about your passion for refugees?
Yeah, so I started tutoring refugees my freshman year of high school, and I learned that I was learning more from them about their culture and their past experiences than they were really learning from me. I was teaching them about academic stuff, but I was so inspired by their stories that I wanted everyone to be able to hear them and also give them the chance to tell their stories, because many of them want to and they're just too afraid. But it's something we can learn a lot about.
Okay, let's talk about dreams. Madeline, what's the big dream for you? What do you want to do someday?
I'd really love to become a high school government teacher, because I think that's a place that young people can better engage and don't always have the outlet or the knowledge that they can go do that. And so I'm studying that at Boise State University in Honors College now. It's been really fun.
Okay, Katie, what's the big dream for you?
I'm planning on going to law school and then working in environmental law to make sure that everyone is able to have the resources on this planet that they need and everyone's able to enjoy them.
Oh my gosh, I feel so good about tomorrow and the day after. You guys are amazing, and congratulations, and all the best to you. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Okay, well, here we are. It's the big moment, and that is the presentation of the Volunteer of the Year Award. I'm thrilled to present someone who is pretty special herself. She is the president of the Andrus Center for Public Policy. Here is Tracy Andrus.
Good morning. I want to thank the wonderful people of Serve Idaho for inviting me to join you this morning, even if it has to be in this virtual realm we find ourselves operating in. COVID-19 has created such incredible challenges for all of us this year, but especially for those who are already struggling. That's why this year, even more so than in years past, those of you who have been willing to reach out to your fellow Idahoans, showing them kindness and compassion and improving the condition of their lives, deserve to be recognized and applauded. You are all shining examples that human kindness does exist all across Idaho and its communities, and it deserves to be celebrated. This year's winner of the Cecil D. Andrus Volunteer of the Year Award for Southwest Idaho has demonstrated exceptional leadership and service to his community for more than 17 years. In 2007, he brought together a team of community leaders and construction companies to create the Idaho Youth Education Recycling Partnership, a scrap metal recycling program with a mission to advance academic scholarship, performing arts, and outdoor sporting for Idaho youth. In 2017, his program reached a $1 million milestone in grants awarded. His nominator spoke to his relentless work ethic and his many hours spent personally loading his pickup and trailer with thousands of pounds of metal. Even in the mud, he was reported to have done it with a smile. Over the years, he has built partnerships with a wide variety of construction companies and Pacific Steel and Recycling to scale up the project and expand its reach. Rather than having scrap metal head to the landfills, it's recycled to benefit both the environment and local youth. I'm very happy to announce this year's winner of the Cecil D. Andrus Volunteer of the Year Award for Southwest Idaho, Bill Action Jackson. Congratulations.
Okay, well, let's bring in the man. Let's go live and say hello to Bill Jackson. Bill, are you there?
I am here. Thank
Okay.
you.
Congratulations, Bill. When did people start calling you Action?
Well, it dates back to my days in Vietnam, where I was in country for almost 8 years.
Wow, you are the man. Okay, tell us about the Idaho Youth Education Recycling Partnership that does so much.
Well, as a fund within the Idaho Community Foundation, we didn't have a lot of money, so I had to come up with a way to raise money. And my background is construction, 27 years with Morrison Knudsen. So we started off with one company, CM Company, and then 2 other companies joined. That was ESI in Bennington, and then it just continued to grow. And now we're scrapping metal throughout the Northwest.
Scholarships, academic scholarships, performing arts scholarships, yes, funds for music instruments, outdoor sports, all of it.
All of it. And there's more to come.
Do you get an opportunity to meet some of the benefactors, some of the kids?
We do. Can't always get to meet everyone, but at the concerts that the Philharmonic has at Capitol High or at NNU, I get the opportunity to speak to all the young students.
What motivates you? Why do you do this?
What motivates me? Well, one, back in 2000, we lost our youngest son, John. And we sat down, my wife and I decided, that's her on the left there, to set up a fund within the Idaho Community Foundation. This would be an opportunity to continue his legacy.
Wow. Who else is there with you? Your wife, and who else is there?
There's Paula New, who's one of our officers of the fund.
Wow. Well, I'm a new fan. Bill, congratulations. This is a big honor. It's a very big deal, but nothing close to what you do for so many kids. Thank you. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. And I'm particularly honored because Cecil Andrus was a good friend of mine.
Wow. That makes it doubly special. And again, many thanks. Well, folks, in a year that has been so challenging, and at a time when there is so much talk about what divides us, there is you. You connect us, you embolden us, you inspire us. Indeed, you are wonderful. To our honorees, and to your families, and to your colleagues and friends, a huge thank you as well. Stay safe, stay warm, wash your hands, and thank you. Have a great weekend. I'm George Prentice. Bye-bye.